Today is May 30th, 2020, and I am located on planet Earth of the Milky Way galaxy. In light of current events, specifically the murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd at the hands of the police, I wanted to share a couple of ideas I've been thinking about. As we work together to dismantle white supremacy and systemic oppression in the United States, we are going to have to stick together and protect and serve each other in the name of justice. White supremacists have been targeting, exploiting, oppressing, enslaving, and murdering Native Americans, Black people, and people of the African diaspora since Europeans colonized the United States and even before that. We are at a pivotal moment where the police are starting to take the public outrage into consideration in their judicial processes, as we have seen in the cases of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. Many people want to help but do not know where to start or how to approach this issue. I'm going to share some ideas I've been thinking about that can help to hopefully prevent any more loss of innocent lives at the hands of the police, and also provide us with ways to respond as civilians if and when it happens again. I watched a video that I'm going to link below that shares the press conference with the Hennepin County attorney to give a better idea of what evidence they need in order to charge a police officer for use of excessive force and negligence to protect, serve, and render aid to an unarmed civilian that they have taken into police custody. In short, he said that the video evidence provided in this case was sufficient enough to prove use of excessive force. Please keep this in mind as I share some of my ideas for how we can approach these situations. In this broadcast, I'm going to share some ideas I have on the following: what you can do if you are a bystander in a situation where you see police arresting a Black person or a person of color, and if another egregious crime like this happens, I've provided a free downloadable document that contains a script template that you can use while you are witnessing the crime and also to follow up when reaching out to your local officials to demand justice. Let's get into it. First, I would like to start off by saying that this is everybody's issue to deal with. If you are in a position of social abundance or privilege, then you actually have a responsibility to act. No matter what race, ethnicity, gender, age, religion, upbringing, political affiliation, socioeconomic status or class, education level, etc. that you are, every single human being is a part of the human family, and we are all brothers and sisters. Therefore, we are all responsible for each other. All of these labels that we use to logically understand things in the third dimension are divisive in nature. As we move into unity consciousness, it is imperative that we begin to think globally, cyclically, and in terms of unity. I would like to share a few videos with you that show how we must come together to protect our people from racial profiling and police brutality. You will see in both these videos below that the neighbors and the grandmother use their bodies as physical shields to protect the person being targeted by the police. This is the mentality that I recommend that we start to adopt. This mentality shows that we are not tolerating this type of treatment towards our brothers and sisters. In both of these videos, you will notice that they surround and cover the members of their community with their physical bodies. In the ICE video, the neighbors greatly outnumber the police. Strength comes in numbers. You will notice in both of these videos as well that it did not prevent the person from being arrested, but it did prevent them from losing their life at the hands of the police. You will also notice how they are not resorting to violence, but rather simply protecting the member of their community by creating a physical barricade between the police and the person being targeted. This is an example of unity. This is what we need to do for each other each and every time. Make it your business to protect our people. We are so divided at this point that this may seem like a huge leap for many, and I believe in meeting people where they're at, so let's discuss a second approach. If you are a bystander in a situation where you see police arresting a Black person or a person of color, I urge you to stop what you are doing and make it your business. Make your presence known by standing there and being present while the arrest is occurring and that human being is being taken into police custody. This body language shows that you are holding the police accountable for their behavior and that they too are under surveillance. If you are by yourself and there's no one in sight, then you're going to have to choose between whether you're going to record the situation for evidence so that it can be used in court to support the person being targeted, or call 911 if things start to go left. If you are a single individual with 2 phones, then you can video record the situation on one phone and call 911 on the other phone at the same time. If there is another person in the vicinity, you can call them over and ask them to video record the situation on their cell phone while you call 911 to report police brutality, use of excessive force, racial profiling and discrimination, and failure to protect, serve, and render aid to a person that has been taken into police custody, if that is indeed what you are witnessing. Or you can have them call while you are video recording the crime. If you are with someone else, this is the best scenario because there are 2 witnesses present at the scene. If things start to go left, I recommend that one person video records the occurrence on their cell phone and the second person calls 911 to report unlawful police activity, police brutality, use of excessive force, and failure to protect, serve, and render aid to an unarmed civilian in police custody if that is indeed what you are witnessing. Give them all the information as to where you are located, the time, the address, and the date. Describe the situation clearly to the dispatcher. State how many officers there are and state their race. State how many civilians they have in their custody and state their race. Describe the situation clearly and state clearly what is going on and the way that they are treating the civilian, and use the words excessive force, racial discrimination and profiling, police brutality, and failure to protect, serve, and render aid to an unarmed civilian that is within police custody if that is indeed what you are witnessing occur. This is all important because this audio is on record now, both on the dispatcher line, which is recorded, and also on the video recording of the other bystander. So these 2 pieces of recorded evidence will match up when they try the police officers involved in a court of law. So this may sound like the following. Hello, my name is Tina Williams. Today is Monday, May 5th, 2020. It is 3:40 p.m. I'm located at the corner of 25th Street and Lenox Avenue on Miami Beach, Florida, zip code 33139. I'm currently witnessing an act of police brutality towards an unarmed civilian. There are 4 white policemen that have taken 1 Black man into custody. This appears to be an act of racial discrimination, and the police are currently using excessive force on an unarmed man that they have taken into their custody. He appears to be injured, and they have failed to render aid. The civilian is asking for help, and he is saying that he cannot breathe. I am concerned that this man's life is at risk. He has clearly surrendered, and he is not resisting arrest, and one of the police officers is kneeling on his neck, while 3 other police officers stand by and are failing to protect, serve, and render aid to this unarmed Black man while he is in their custody. Please come now. This man is in imminent danger and his life is at risk. Then remain on the line with the dispatcher so that the audio that is occurring in the background is also being recorded. After that, I urge you to follow up with your local officials by writing letters and calling. The more energy, time, and resources that we pour into this, the more quickly we will see things begin to change. Again, this may not prevent the arrest and seizure of the person, but it will prevent them from losing their life. Another step that you can take is if the person is able to talk, you can call out to them and ask them if there's somebody that they want you to call, like a family member or something, and get their phone number, and you can call that person and just give them a heads up so that they know where their loved one is located, or they can at least follow up and try to figure out where they've been taken into custody. You can use the free document that I've attached to this video for ideas on how to formulate your wording, or you can literally use it word for word. The thing is, when the police take a civilian into custody, if that civilian becomes injured in some way, the police officers are supposed to render aid to that civilian. This language is important, and it is important that we know our rights as civilians. We are not under martial law at this time, therefore we still have access to our rights as United States civilians. We have elected sovereign leaders to protect and serve us, and we pay taxes in order to facilitate this protection and service. The government has been getting away with murder both literally and figuratively, and it is time for we the people to take our individual power back and to come together, exercise our constitutional rights, and end these forms of systemic oppression. No one is free until we are all free. And if the police and government are not going to protect and serve us, then it is actually our responsibility to protect and serve each other. This is actually how gangs originated. They were originally organizations that were established to protect and serve communities that the police and government targeted and failed to protect. I want to make it clear that I am not promoting violence. What I'm saying is we have rights and we need to become aware of them and use them, especially since we pay for them. Would you pay for a cell phone service that only works sometimes, or only lets you call certain people, or doesn't work at all, or is unreliable when you really need it? Would you pay for a car that does not turn on or only drives on certain streets or certain days of the week? I wouldn't. It's time to come together. Attached, please find a document available for your use. It contains 2 scripts that I created that you can use, again, either word for word, or you can just use it as like an outline to formulate your own wording, so that if and when this happens again, you're ready to act, both in the position of a bystander who witnesses police brutality, and also for reaching out to your local officials to follow up and demand justice. I've also attached all of the videos I referenced in this video, and also some statistics on police brutality and racial profiling and discrimination in the United States. I'm going to be following this video up with my ideas on how we can begin to immediately implement reparations on both individual and collective levels by sharing and circulating our social abundance, and also some other ideas that I have for how we can create change and end systemic oppression in the United States. I would love to hear your feedback on these ideas. Also, I would love to invite other people of other perspectives, backgrounds, and ages to collaborate with me on this important work. I'm an American Caucasian female, age 32. I have a limited perspective as I am only one individual. I'm inviting anyone who wants to collaborate and share ideas and functional actions that we can take to push these conversations forward, and also come up with actionable steps that we can implement immediately on a day-to-day basis to create immediate change. We need individual change, collective change, and systemic change to actually achieve global change. This is not a time to get stuck in analysis paralysis. We can come up with creative solutions by brainstorming together and putting ideas out there so that we can take swift, mindful, intentional, and inclusive action while we have the opportunity. There's a window open right now for exponential change, and I'm calling all thinkers, creatives, humanitarians, and anyone for that matter who is interested in coming up with creative solutions to world problems to get involved. Please do not feel shy, embarrassed, or ashamed of your ideas on how we can implement change. We can fuse unorthodox and traditional approaches together to make this happen. The more we share our individual approaches to solution-based thinking, the closer we will get to actual change. No idea is a bad idea, because each idea will lead us closer to where we want to be. Please feel free to share constructive criticism and ideas that will help refine and develop the approaches that I've presented in this video in the comment section. Please keep it cute. This is not a time to be a troll. Be a leader and step up. If you would like to collaborate with me, please feel free to message me directly. If you are watching this video on Instagram or another social media platform, you can find the original video with all the referenced videos and the scripts that I created on my YouTube channel. You can find the link to my YouTube channel in my bio. I've titled this video, Ideas on How to Counteract Police Brutality and Racial Discrimination. I love you. Thank you for your time.